Hello and welcome to the Raymond Can Do It channel. Today I'm going to talk about one of the electrical issues that I recently had. I had a space heater that I turned on because it's getting a little colder out there. And when I turned on the space heater, it was working fine. And then eventually the whole outlet went out. So at first I thought it was something related to the outlet itself. Then I realized that it was related to the whole circuit, so the set of outlets and switches tied to that circuit. I went downstairs, I thought it was a circuit breaker issue, but it ended up not being a circuit breaker issue. So then I got one of these circuit testers, so feel free to click the link below in the video description. My channel gets a couple of pennies, it's no additional cost to you. These are very helpful to have if you're doing electrical work in your house. It gives you kind of an idea of the 3 different lights and what they do and what is going on with your circuits. So I didn't touch any outlets or switches on the circuit for a long time, so that's why I thought it was maybe a blown circuit breaker. But then I put one of these circuit testers in, and this is what popped up. So usually circuit breakers, the outlets, when you plug them in, for this one, the middle and the right light will turn on. That means that the circuit is good. But when I turned it, put it in, it was flashing. The left light was flashing and the right light was on. So that means something's wrong. According to this, it's the hot or ground reverse. So I didn't really know what that meant. I looked it up, and basically it's a neutral wire is loose somewhere on the circuit. So I assumed that it was the outlet that had that space heater, that had a loose wire, neutral white wire. So then I opened it out, and I didn't see any issues with it. Then I did some more research, and it's not necessarily that one. It could be any of the outlets or switches on that circuit. So a circuit could have 2-3 switches, 8-10 different outlets. And I didn't want to have to open up each one of these to figure out which one had the issue. So then I did some more research, and I found that if you know how the path of that circuit goes throughout your house, then start from the first outlet or switch and then keep going until it causes this issue. So then I didn't really know, because this particular circuit was going upstairs, downstairs, and multiple rooms. So what I did was I turned that breaker off, and then I figured out which outlets and switches were on that circuit because they were off. And to tell on this, if you plug it in and there's no lights, that means that outlet is off, and then therefore part of that circuit. So then after I identified the switches and the outlets associated with it, then I turned the breaker back on, and then I started with the outlets closest to the breaker. In my case, even though it was upstairs, and my breaker box is in the basement, that bedroom upstairs was the first outlet on the circuit. So I plugged it in, and then it's fine. So then I moved to the second room, the second bedroom, and then I put it in, and I got that issue. So then it's somewhere between the first outlet and that second outlet in the first room and second room. Then I realized there's a bathroom, a guest bathroom, in between the 2 rooms, and that bathroom light is not on because the switch is on the same circuit as the outlets. So then I opened the switch up, and this is what I found. So now I have the circuit turned off. And at any point you do not feel comfortable doing any of this, feel free to call a licensed electrician. I'm not a licensed electrician, so you're doing this at your own risk. So now that I have the circuit off, I open the switches up, and if you look on the inside, you can see that there is a red wire nut that somehow got removed from the wire nut piece itself. It was not electrical taped on, so the wire nut broke off, and it kind of started melting the neutral white wires in this junction box. So this is definitely the issue. I'm going to have to go and hopefully I have enough slack to extend it out and redo this whole thing. So I took those two switches out. The switch on the right was for the light in the bathroom. The switch on the left was for the fan. The neutral wires are all tied together. As you can see, here's the red wire nut that's been melted off, and now you can see this neutral white wire has been broken off, charred up. The ground wires would go together. The black wires, I labeled them, the fan top, the fan bottom, the light switch top, and light switch bottom. So now I need to figure out if I have enough slack, because all these neutral wires have been burned out. But I have a feeling I'm going to have to go into the attic and replace these wires. Luckily, I had extra wire in the wall that I could extend out the wires and then reattach the switches. For one of them, I did not have a wire long enough, so I had to go into the attic, grab another wire, and tie it inside a junction box so I could bring that. Then I had to fish the wire down the wall, and then I'm able to reapply my switches. So I've rewired the two switches. I also added electrical tape to that wire nut, so hopefully this will not happen again. And I've also tried to put enough slack in the line so if anything happens in the future, I don't have to go back into the attic and rewire. So I've learned two lessons from this experience. The first one is if your circuit keeps tripping, investigate and see why it's doing that. The second thing is anytime I use wire nuts, I'll make sure to electrical tape around the wire nuts to make sure they don't fall off again and melt. If you thought this video was helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to my channels for any DIYs, how-tos, product reviews. My name is Raymond. If I can do it, you can too.